All right, guys, so we're back from the river, back from Tom's. As you guys saw from that last clip, we got our cylinder head all taken care of, and it is ready to go back to Colorado and get put back on the car. In the meantime, I was kind of holding off some of this next content for a little bit later time because a lot of guys are doing it, and we just had something come up on this car that I have to fix now. I was going to hold off. I wasn't going to show you guys this car, but about February or so, we bought Sherry a new car and kind of jumped on the bandwagon and picked up a Tesla, boys. So this is a 2013 Tesla Model S. As you guys can see, it's in my shop right now and getting ready to go up on the lift. We've had nothing but good luck with this car so far, and the battery finally took a crap on us. So instead of taking it to Tesla or buying a whole nother battery for it, I reached out to some friends of mine that have been doing Tesla work for a long time, and they told me I could just replace that cell. So I got the scanner out, I found out what cell was bad, and Sherry's gonna come out here in the shop with us, and we're gonna take this Tesla battery out. We're gonna put the car up on the lift, I'm gonna get some sawhorses, we're gonna drop out the battery and do all the steps that it takes to get that cell changed out. I've got some guys that I've purchased a cell from already. I've got to go pick that up tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're gonna get this thing up on the lift and start getting it prepped for the battery to come out. I know a lot of other YouTubers are jumping on the Tesla content, and I was gonna save this car for later. Originally, this car was brown. We did have it wrapped. It's just my wife's daily driver. Really cool car, some carbon fiber accents. I did get a carbon fiber front lip for it, so I'll be putting that on while it's up on the lift as well. But yeah, guys, 2013 Tesla Model S. It's a P85, so it's a performance model. I believe this one makes like 450 horsepower. It's rear-wheel drive only, and this thing freaking rips. And the other upside to it, guys, is it came with lifetime supercharging. So I can go to any Tesla supercharger in the US, plug this car in, and it costs me absolutely zero to charge this car up. So if you guys are in the market for a Tesla and you're looking to buy a newer Tesla or a new Tesla from Tesla, they do offer a trade-in program where you trade this car in and they'll give you like 6 years, I think, of supercharging if you trade in a car that has lifetime. So if you got the cash to put down, I would go out and buy one that has supercharging and trade that one in. That's kind of the move, I think, for Tesla. But you know, it is what it is. The battery went dead. I got a really, really good deal on this car. I couldn't pass it up. And my wife fell in love with the car. So we just got to put some wheels on it soon. These gray wheels don't look great with this color wrap. But I'll show you guys the what color it was. It was that brown color. So she went with this, it's matte, like a matte gold flake. Really cool color. But that way it doesn't look so weird when you open the door. Doesn't look so odd. But anyways, guys, we're gonna get this thing up on the lift and take a look at it from underneath. Okay, guys, so I went and picked up some sawhorses, and I also went and picked up the Sherry. She's what's the first thing? We're gonna get the car up on the lift, right?
Yeah.
Get it up on the lift, start looking at what we need to take apart.
Yeah, get the seahorses underneath it and get everything ready for us to drop the battery.
Heck yeah. So Sherry's gonna drop her own battery. I'm just gonna help her along the way. And she's actually going to replace the cell herself. I think this is really cool that she's interested in her car and interested in making it, you know, continue to run. So she's got a cool car. She's a cool chick. Let's get it done. Okay, guys, so Sherry's getting the lift placed underneath the lift pads. Teslas have lift pads on them. I know there's those pucks you can buy, and we actually do have them, but they're more of a pain in the butt than they're worth. We're just going to get the car up on the normal lift pads like everybody else does. And we should be good to go. Up we go. And stop. Now what do? Make sure the car's not gonna fall on anybody. Give her a good shaking. Nice. Sherry got the pads all lined up good. And we are going to drop out this entire battery pack. What I did forget to do was undo the fireman's loop. So we're going to lower the car back down, open the hood, take a little bit of the front apart, disconnect the fireman's loop, and get this thing ready to roll. Okay, guys, well, Sherry got all the center bolts out, and now she's lining up the sawhorses for the battery to sit on. Should be pretty cut and dry here at this point. We're gonna lower it down, take the rest of the bolts out, and then raise the car right off the battery. Pretty centered, looks pretty good to me. Down there. Pulling the bolts out. Guys, and I know you might say it's a little dangerous with wooden sawhorses, but those are not holding the car. The lift is still holding the car up, and it's on the lock, so we're good to go. Nice and safe. I would never put my wife in a situation where she could get hurt. So, I mean, she's just about got the bolts out, and we're almost ready to lift this thing right off the battery. Okay, Sherry jumped in here. Before we dropped the battery, she disconnected the low voltage battery and pulled the plug on the fireman's loop. So car's totally safe. We can go ahead and lift the battery off, right? So we're gonna go ahead and push the button. Sorry about the loud fan noises in here, guys. It's really hot today. So we got the swamp cooler going, and we're gonna hit this button. Okay, babe, go ahead and give her a tap. Let's see. Oh, look at that. There comes the battery. All right, slow. Go ahead, a little bit. Tap it. Tap, tap. All right, stop. Let me check the front. Coolant lines are clear. They disconnected. I think we're all clear. Go ahead. You're 100% clear. Go for it. What do you think, babe? You just pulled your own Tesla battery.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So if you guys ever wonder, oh, typical Sherry, she's going to worry about how dirty it is, of course. You guys ever wondered what it looks like under a Tesla without a battery? Well, there it is. What do you think, babe? You think you can do this?
I think you can.
I think you can. We're gonna make it work. And we got a couple more safety procedures. We've got to tape over these connectors. They make plastic ones that cover it, but we don't have them. We're gonna go ahead and tape over these. And then I'm gonna find out what this means. Power switch, 51117. Maybe it was a update or something that they did. So everything looked good up there. Coolant disconnects came off good. Let's see. So there's the coolant lines, and they're quick disconnects, and they just feed themselves. You don't have to release them or anything. So that's why we did this way, is because when you're realigning this battery back to this car, if you put it on a moving cart, you've got to run like all thread up through the holes and try to align it, because these are all, you know, quick disconnects. They just sit here. So don't touch that one. They just go right back in place. When we're putting the car back down, I'm gonna stick my bore scope through there as it comes down, and I'll watch to make sure it's lined up. But that's why I didn't want to put the battery on wheels, so it does not move from the original location. So we just lifted the car right off. We should be able to put the car right back down on it. So we already know what cell's bad, so we're gonna get to taking this thing apart and get that thing out. Sherry just vacuumed out everything around here. Why did we clean all that up?
I didn't want anything to get inside where the battery packs are once we lift the plastic up. I don't want anything to get contaminated.
Right. So that's good practice. So I'm really stoked that she's out here doing this with me, guys. And she's not really doing it with me. She's doing it, and I'm just kind of pointing her along the way, which I think is friggin' awesome. So I was just dropping those bolts out. So yeah, guys, we got a couple more things to do before we tape. We're gonna tape these off, like I said earlier, and then we got to go up front and disconnect the high voltage fuse. That's underneath that cover there, right?
Under here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got to disconnect that, and then tape all this up, and then we can start taking this thing apart. So what are we doing now? And
my watch.
right, we don't want any metal to metal contact, and you're putting on
Gloves.
leather gloves. We don't have rubber and leather, so we're just going to use these welding gloves, which should be fine. And the next step is to go over here, set the multimeter on the quick disconnect, and make sure it's got less than 10 volts on that. So we're going to set her up with a meter and show her what we got the meter set up to DC, and Sherry's going to check the rapid splitter right now and see if there's any more than 10 volts. If there's more than 10 volts on there, then that means your contactor's not closed all the way. So she's going to go ahead and touch them up on there. We got 0.3 of a volt. Go ahead and flop the polarity on them just to be safe.
There's
0.3 of a volt. There's no voltage there, so we're good. That means the contactor in the car is closed and we have no leakage, and that's good. So now we're going to cover these up. We're going to grab some blue masking tape, cover those contactors up, and then we'll roll up front and pull the high voltage fuse out. Okay, so she's getting those things taped off so we don't drop nothing in there. And then we're going to go ahead and start peeling the plastic back and then removing the lid. You ready? That's about as far as we need to go back because yes, that's where we need to get to, right?
Yeah.
So now we got lots of screws to take out, and we're going to peel this lid.
So we can get to the high voltage fuse.
Nice. And then we're going to disconnect it. All right. So we got the bolts out of the high voltage fuse. They're right here. We use the Sherry used the insulated tools, and now she's got an insulated fuse puller and gloves on. And I know some of you guys will say, oh, this is not necessary. You can just grab it and pull. We want to be safe. I'm never going to put her in a situation where something bad could happen. So she's gloved up, insulated. So go ahead and grab that fuse.
Got it?
Yep. All right, guys, our pyro fuse is out. Good job, Sherry. So we should be isolated and protected now, and we can go ahead and start peeling the cover off. Good job. Okay, so next step is we are going to start taking all of the T20 screws out, T25 screws out, all the way back as far as we want to peel this up. And then we've got a whole bunch of these to take out as well. That will expose the bricks, and then we got to get out the brick that's bad. Vacuum over one more time. Now that we've taken all the screws out, it made it much more debris, and she's just real cleanly. So just gonna clean all that up. We've got all the screws out, as you guys can see, except for the ones up front, because I don't believe we're not going to pull the whole lid. We're just going to peel it back as far as we need to, and yeah, she's going to get it cleaned up, and then we'll get this lid peeled back, get out the cell we need. Sherry just ran in to grab another razor scraper. And you can see she's starting to pull back the lid. We're gonna go ahead and scrape some of this silicone and then start getting this thing peeled back. We only need to get to right here. We use the Scan My Tesla app. There's 6 cells per pack. So if you count by sixes, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 16, and there's 6 in each. So that's where we need to be. Yep, there she is. Grabbed her razor scraper and We're gonna scrape some of this silicone off of here. Okay, so guys, we got the lid rolled back. There is a shit ton of silicone in here. So it makes it kind of hard to pull back, but we got it pulled back. And this is the one we're after. Somewhere in here, one of these little single things is bad. And that's what's giving us trouble. This pack right here. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Pain in the ass.
Yep. So what I need to do now is we need to meter the packs to give them an average voltage, because they're going to charge up the new pack or the new brick. So that way it's even with the other bricks. So when we plug it all back in, the code should go away and she should charge up. And I believe we're going to meter those right on those posts, right like there. So we're going to get these things metered out real quick for the boys. That way they can charge it up for us and we can get this thing put back together. So let's take these covers off next. We'll grab the meter. We'll get it metered out. So what we're going to do now, guys, is what?
We're going to test the voltage
on every pack, right? We're going to give them an average. So let's take a look at this is our suspect pack, right? We think this is the one that's bad. And we did that by using the Scan My Tesla app in the car, and it told us that cell 88 was bad. So we counted, like I showed you earlier, means cell 88 is in here.
somewhere in here.
Somewhere in this guy right here. So go ahead and throw the meter on there and let's take a look. Oh. So we're looking at 21.54. Now let's go over to the one next to it. 21.65. So let's check the one behind it. 21.657. Let's check the one in front of it. 21.6. 21.6. And let's check here. I'll reach this last one. You get that one, I'll get this one. Oh, come on, boys. Let's get that on there. 21.6. So they're all 21.6, but one is not like the other. And it's that one right there. And it was reading, what was it, babe?
21.5.
21.5. And that is enough to throw off the battery monitoring system and screw this whole thing up and cause it not to charge.
Not to open the doors.
Yeah, we had a bunch of battery problems with it. And it was all because of one little tiny, what looks like a AAA cell.
Or a C-cell battery.
Yeah. So in the battery monitor, or in the Scan My Tesla app, you can actually look at it a little bit better, clearer. But yeah, 21.6 is where we need to be.
Yeah.
21.5 is where this one's at. It's bad. We are gonna
Replace it.
Yeah, but we got to call our guys over at the Tesla place, the EV Part Solutions. That's who's helping us out, right?
EV Part Solutions.
And they're in Phoenix.
Yes.
They're helping us out. They're giving us a new brick. Excuse me. And then we have to have them charge it to 21.6.
Yes.
That way it matches when we plug this all back in.
We won't have any more problems.
Yeah. So, Sherry, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard has this really been?
It's not that bad.
Not bad,
hard
right?
at all.
Not hard at all.
I could do it.
Yeah, right. So we'll go over the whole job at the end, but check that out, boys. World's first female replacing her own Tesla battery. All I'm doing is holding the camera and telling her, let's be real.
Pointing me in the right direction that
Right.
I need to go.
But-
And he's doing the heavy work like
Right.
the
Like
muscle.
scraping the silicone and peeling the lid off.
He's doing my muscle.
We'll be real. I did that. But other than that, man, guys, she's doing this all on her own. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty proud of her. And, this is her car. It's her baby. And
I have my car.
got to have her car. So we are going to give the guys over at EV Parts Solutions a call right now. Let them know what the voltage is. They'll get that pack charging for us tonight. That way tomorrow we can just swap it out. And it's pretty simple. You undo the coolant lines down here. Undo the bolts here and this thing will lift out and slide out this way. And the new one will slide in. We'll put it right back together and she'll be good to go. Hey, what did we get today?
We got our module over here from our friends over at EV
Parts
Part
Solutions.
Solutions in
21.6, so it matches the rest of the module. So let's go ahead and throw the meter on here. We're gonna stick it right on the terminals. Let me jump around here with the camera and let's take a look and see where we're at. Yep. 21.66 on the nose. And just for reference, let's walk over to the pack and we'll go ahead and just measure this one. The one that's right next to it, just to be safe. Make sure we're doing this right. Turn the light on the meter. That's gonna be, hold on, that one right there. 21.67, boys. It don't get no closer than that. So we should be able to pop this pack out, which is the bad one, right?
Yes.
And put the new pack in and slap this thing back together, lower the car down onto it, and we will be good to go, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this pack removed, get the other pack in. And I'm sorry, guys, my terminology is this is all new to us. So I'm calling them cells, packs, quadrants, modules, whatever. So what it is this is a module. Inside this module is 6 bricks or cells. They call a cell a brick. So each module has 6 bricks. There's 16 modules in a pack. This whole thing together is a pack. So one pack equals 16 modules equals 96 bricks or cells. And then in each individual cell, there's X amount of little individual C-style looking batteries. But I know people are going to get mad because we said C-style battery, but it's kind of, that's what it looks like. Yeah. So all you Tesla experts out there, they're 13 for, there's a part number for them. But again, like I said, we can't replace just the one cell or the one piece that's bad or cell that's bad. We had to replace the whole module. So Sherry's going to jump into it. She's going to glove up, disconnect the power bolts, get the coolant lines undone, and we're going to swap this thing out and get it finished. So Sherry's gloved up. We got our half-ass insulated tools there. She's going to knock these bolts loose. There you go. Go ahead and knock the other one loose. We'll get the bolts out of the pack, and then we'll be good to go. She removed the first bolt with the magnet. Got that one loose. She's going to grab that one with the magnet. All right, and that's out. So, coolant lines are next, right?
Yes.
And then we're going to lift this pack up, slide her out, swap her with the good one. All right, here we go. Well, what'd you do?
We had to disconnect these from the coolant lines, these little tubes, and we put the little bread clips on here so none of the coolant can drop down inside there.
Yeah.
Which we did have a little bit in there, and we will clean up
Right.
before we put the next battery in.
So what's next? Disconnecting the BMS, right?
Right here.
Yep, so we're going to disconnect the BMS, and we should be able to lift this thing right out of here.
Yeah.
So looks like you might have a running car tonight.
I hope so.
Heck yeah. Okay, so Sherry undid the quick release. She used an insulated screwdriver. Put it down here, pop the yellow cap out, right?
Yes.
And then reached down and pulled, and then we threw a cap on there. This battery, we didn't drain the coolant. We're just doing one pack, and we have some caps for it. So we're just going to kind of hot swap it quickly. We'll wipe up whatever we lose. And then in the Tesla software, there is a setting that we can bleed the coolant. So it'll run it through the pack, and all the bubbles will come up. So I think we'll be okay there. We're not going to lose very much, just a few drops probably. So she's going to knock this next quick release loose, pull it off, and we should be good to go, guys. Sherry grabbed the insulated screwdriver, pushed in on the clip, and then she was able to remove the BMS plug. So I think we just turn this over and out of the way. I think we're good to go. We're going to lift this thing out of here. Okay, what did we just do?
We just removed the module from the entire battery pack.
So guys, when you do this, what was holding us back?
Silicone.
Yeah, their sealant is all over in here. So you got to kind of cut it away. Like we showed you, we did drip a little coolant, so we're going to wipe that up. And I'm going to show you guys the modules side by side. Uh-oh, which one was which? Do you remember?
That's the bad one.
Okay.
This one's the good one.
Okay, we can always meter it to be sure, but yes. So here we go, guys. Old module out. Sherry's
Module going in.
new module going in. I'm going to do the heavy lifting for her because that thing's pretty heavy. But for the most part, guys, she is doing all of her own work, which is killer. I love it. So let's get a rag. Let's clean up this little coolant here. And we'll get this bad module replaced.
He's doing the heavy lifting for me. I just can't lift it for very long.
Yeah, that big screwdriver.
Okay guys, so we actually thought that it wasn't going to fit, and we realized that we have to line it up with this little pin right here so it will actually line up properly.
So we got it lined up with a pin. It dropped down. We're ready to reconnect the coolant lines, hook up the power cables and the BMS, right?
Yes.
All right, that's all on you. Let's do this. What's the next step?
Putting the ESD shields back on.
EME.
EME.
EME shields, electromagnetic energy shields. And these are directional, guys. There's pads on the bottom, so it spaces them off the batteries. So we'll put those 6 back on. We'll silicone all this back up. Lay the cover back down, screw it down, drop the car on, and hopefully we'll be charging tonight. What you doing, babe?
I am picking up all the matching screws that will put the lid back down according to the green.
Yep.
Green.
Green to green. So we'll push all this down, hit it all back down. We got to hurry up because our sealant's starting to tack up.
Almost there.
So we're almost there. Almost done. Little body work action. You know, you guys, you can't take these lids off and not mess them up a bit. There's so much sealant. Sorry about that. So much sealant and silicone on these things. When you go to peel them, they just roll up. They can get trashed. So it is what it is. But, you know, it's fixed. So we're going to keep on rolling forward here, boys.
So we got the lid put back on, and I just put the fuse back into its little spot. Had to use safety.
That's right. Safety, insulated tools.
Yes.
So we are now live. So we're 400 volts at the plug back there. So from this point forward, got to be careful. So pulling this fuse, from what I understand, does not kill all 400 volts. It kind of splits it in half. So you've still got 200 volts running down the rails. So either way, you've got to be careful. But our pack's back together, and we're almost ready to drop old Tessie right down on this pack. We got to clean everything off the top here, put the cover back on the pyro fuse, right?
Yes.
And I think we're done. I think we did it. I think you did it. Again, guys.
Well, we did it because I needed your muscle.
Right, I had to lift it, but Sherry's done all the work here, guys. Really, really friggin' stoked. Sherry has got the lid all screwed back down. You've got a bunch of black stuff on your nose, by the way. Well, here it is. Now that she's got the grease off her nose, we got that's like a heat shield pad of some sort and a plastic liner. Tries to keep water off the battery. We got the pyro fuse sealed back up. The back half, I actually used some Honda Bond back there, so this thing's got some Honda power in it. It did drip a little coolant out of the fitting over there. We're gonna wipe that up, and then we're dropping this thing onto the car, dropping the car onto the battery. So I want to have you just watch. Here we go. Okay, guys, everything looks good. We got the battery dropped back, or the car dropped back on the battery. Everything sounds like it plugged in and went in. We're gonna go ahead and throw some bolts in this thing and
See how it goes.
yeah. All right, well, Sherry's actually putting my creeper to use for the first time ever since I got it. And she's gonna go ahead and impact all those battery bolts in. There you go. This girl using my creeper like a pro. I need you out here in the shop more often, babe. I got a lot of projects we can finish.
There's not one in here.
Yeah, I skipped that one. All right, well, you got the side bolts in, the front two bolts are in. I think that's enough to bring her up. Just hopefully the battery don't fall out. It would just fall on the sawhorses. You're good. Tesla battery back in, boys. Good job, babe. Good freaking job. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is put the car up. We're gonna move the sawhorses out of the way. I'm gonna reconnect the fireman's loop. That's good. And the 12-volt battery, one more. There you go. I'm gonna reconnect the fireman's loop and the 12-volt battery before I go ahead and put all the bolts back in, just to make sure she charges and that code is gone. And then we can go ahead and just leave it charged, and we'll go ahead and throw the rest of the bolts in the bottom while it's up. I think we're good to go, dude. We did it. And really, in all actuality, guys, if you had the new pack already, this would be a one-day job.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't 10,000 degrees here, you know, I do have the AC on. It is, you know, it is helping. So we're going to get these moved out of the way, right? And then we'll plug it in and see what happens. Okay, guys, well, we got her plugged in and charging. We're still throwing the reduced code. We're going to let it charge overnight and see what happens. I think we have to get someone to reset that code for us. Luckily, Chewy will be back. We got a couple of Tesla friends that can help us with that. So I did scan all the batteries while it was charging, and they're all 3.6. They're all within range. So hopefully after it charges for a while, it'll notice that they're all within range, and it should clear, and we should be good to go. So we're going to let the BMS do its thing, let this thing charge. We're done for the night. The battery's back in. Good job, babe. High five. All right, guys, so in order to clear the code after we replaced the module, my boy Chewy had to come over here. I'm going to put a link to his Instagram down below. This is Chulon Musk right here. So he had to bring over his tablet, log in to the car, reset some stuff, and run a new routine for the new battery module. And now, as you guys can see, it's charging the way it's supposed to. It's going to charge all the way up. And we are good to go, boys.
Sweet.
Freaking awesome, dude. Chewy's the man. And that's going to end this video off, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video.